Puerto Ricans experienced a second day of police repression after taking to the streets in a series of countrywide protests. Much of the protest was directed at the authorities for their lackluster results in the island's recovery post-hurricane and as the government continues on a more than decades-long trajectory of austerity. To discuss the protests, we're being joined by Giovanni Roberto. He's a coordinator at the Center for Political Development in Puerto Rico, but he's joining us live from New York. Hello, Giovanni. Thank you for joining us. What have Puerto Ricans been doing to mitigate the damage of Hurricane Maria and subsequent blackouts, and how are residents preparing for the upcoming hurricane season on a grassroots level?
Well, thank you for having me here. Right before Maria and Irma, two hurricanes that hit us during last hurricane season, I think people by instinct knew that the government was not going to do anything. So a lot of grassroots organization and initiatives took place. Especially, I like to talk about the mutual aid centers, an initiative that was brought out after the hurricane, 8 days after the hurricane. And after a week or two, there's more than 10 mutual aid centers in Puerto Rico. Right now, it's still working with people in need. We used to cook, we organize people to do new houses, to build new houses, and to deal with other health issues. And now we're getting ready for next hurricane season, which is start in June, next month. We know, because we are sure, but because this is the attitude of the government, that the government is not going to do anything but to privatize, which is they are using the crisis. So we need our own plan, our own organization of the people, and I'm gladly and I'm happy that people are taking, into their hands the organization of their needs.
Now, Giovanni, I wanted to ask you, go back to your response on the government. What do people on the island think about the governor of Puerto Rico, Ricardo Rosselló, as far as his role in ensuring the needs of the people are being met?
Well, as you might know, the government reaction after the hurricane was really, really, really slow. And they used it, and it was political and money motivated. For example, a lot of the things that people were sending to us from the United States and other parts of the world was stuck at ports. And the speculation here in Puerto Rico is that the government wanted to tax the things that people were sending. The U.S. government too was really, really so slow, and they acted like 2 weeks after the hurricane. They eliminate the Jones Act, that allow more merchandise to get into Puerto Rico without being charged. But that only rests for like 2 weeks. So people are taking more consciousness of the role of the government and how the government is actually abandoning more now than ever the population. And that's why it's important to notice the grassroots organizations that are taking place in Puerto Rico, because we are the ones who are going to save our own people, and we are the one organizing people's needs, not the government.
Now, do you expect to see more large-scale mobilizations and coordinated actions against austerity as, the situation with schools closures and the privatization of those schools and energy and the slashing of labor rights is set to continue?
Yes, I think 7 months after the hurricane, people are now getting out of the extreme shock that was Hurricane Maria. We can notice that because our May Day manifestation was huge and the people were really active into it. We are expecting the teachers to organize and to strike maybe in the next weeks, because the government is planning to not only shut down and to close 283 schools, but they are approving a new law that will privatize at least the 10% of schools in Puerto Rico. Teachers have defeated intentions of the government to privatize schools in the 1990s and during 2008 strike. So we are expecting especially teachers to strike, and I hope so, and I'm seeing that in Puerto Rico, that people are going to be more willing to protest and to mobilize in the next few weeks.
Okay, and we'll be looking to you to help us discuss the mobilizations and the actions that are taking place in Puerto Rico in the next few weeks. We've been speaking to Giovanni Roberto of the Center for Political Development in Puerto Rico, but he was talking to us live from New York.